guys, Tony here. Saturday night. It's July the 10th, and I'm starting to make the video this morning, and right when I blew the shofar on the porch, I caught the neighbor's attention, and there must have been some kids in the background started making sounds and noises, and the dog started barking. So I stopped the video there, and I came back, got the camera off of the stand, and was just going to do it, holding it in my hand. And I held it sideways and messed up the whole video. And unfortunately, we had to go to another funeral today. My wife's grandmother passed last week, and they had the memorial service today. She just lost her grandfather a few weeks ago, and I guess she was ready. They were both in their 90s, and it's kind of weird how that happens sometimes when an older couple like that, when one of them goes, the other one usually goes right after. But anyways, pray for the family and for my wife and for us. And anyways, I was making the video because I know a lot of you probably seen Barry All's video this morning, and which was great. It's a great video, and I wanted to touch on a couple things that he had mentioned. Well, one in specific was that he had mentioned Psalm 121, and my birthday's 121, and my brother passing on my birthday and all kind of was like a partial fulfillment of my rapture vision when I was 11. And I thought that was interesting. He was a guy that wrote a book on that psalm, and he was talking about that psalm, and I thought that was just interesting that that's tied into his new or into his rapture watch theme there. And also he had mentioned that today was a high watch day. It was today would have been like the fourth month, the first day of the fourth month, and I think he mentioned like 3 or 4 days of there's a high watch there. Also, the I believe the 25th is still one of them. No, he was mentioning the true Pentecost also, I guess, if nothing happens in the next few days. So guys, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. If you haven't accepted the Lord Jesus Christ, do it now while there's still time. Believe the gospel that Jesus is the Son of God. He died on the cross and rose and was buried and rose on the third day, and made atonement for our sins. If you believe this with your heart and confess it with your mouth, you're saved and sealed to the day of redemption. And guys, don't delay. There's so many things going on right now that in the world that just prove that the Bible is just all the prophecies of the end times are coming to be fulfilled. In my last video, I talked about this September theme with the shofars that I heard. And I heard something yesterday that could have been, a shofar. It sounded like a really deep shofar horn blowing. No one was around when I was on break. I didn't go on break on my normal time. It was right after a storm, and it was rolling thunder, and I heard what at first I thought was a train whistle. But here's what I wanted to bring up about that, which was interesting. When I heard the horn, I realized that it wasn't a train, and there wasn't no train coming down the track. So it was loud enough to be right where the train should be, but it would have had to been sitting still. And but even with that, it was I hear them all day long. We work right beside the train track, so I know what they sound like. And I realized quickly it wasn't a train. But what's odd is that it lasted for about 3 seconds, and each time, and there was 3 blasts, and then there was about a 3-second delay in between the blast. So in other words, I heard the first blast, then 3 seconds later, approximately, I heard another one. Then another 3 seconds, I heard another one. So I heard 3 blasts, and then there was 3-second delay in between each one, which is 333, which is odd. Of course, they lasted about 3 seconds. I didn't really count them, but I thought that was interesting that the numbers were close like that, almost like the last time I heard the shofar, last September, there was three sets of 3 shivering blasts, and the last one that I heard in November, the first one, there was 3 shivering blasts. I don't know what all that means, but I do know that the 9th month was September and the 11th month was November, and I've heard them both on the 7th days of the month. I believe it's pointing to this year. I believe it's a 1-year warning, and it kind of like, with the tree, the fig tree that didn't produce. Even Barry All was talking about that today. Says that the Lord came, didn't find any fruit, and then the master of the vineyard or whatever, he says to wait a year. So I don't know, I feel like maybe there's a 1 year warning. There was a 1 year warning that the sword is coming, because that's when the shofars are blasted. That's what they're blasted for, those kind of shofars. You know, the small ram's horn is like for a warning. You know, it's like, think about Joshua blowing the shofar horn. That's what I would imagine him blowing, a little small one. But I don't know that for sure. But I mean, just that's what it seems like. Because the big ones are more musical. It sounds more like a celebration type of blast. This one sounds more like a warning, like an alarm. And so, you know, September the 7th this year. Now, September the 7th would be the Jewish date for the Feast of Trumpets. And of course, according to Burial, you know, we're a month behind, so it would actually be October the 7th would be the true Feast of Trumpets. And of course, that's dependent. That means it's got to start on the sliver of the new moon as well. So we don't know exactly when that would be. But it's weird that I heard the shofars before and after what he's calling the true Feast of Trumpets. There's a lot of noise tonight, guys. These frogs and crickets and things are really loud. I thought that'd be cool, though, in the background for you to hear that. And I was wanting to experiment with this camera, too, out with this new phone I got. See how well it records in the dark. But it's just weird that I heard those shofars before and after what could actually be the Feast of Trumpets. Anyways, make a long story short, I think that it could be, just like Burial said, that the Feast of Trumpets, after the Feast of Trumpets, that 7 days of awe, that could be when the tribulation starts, either right at or right after the 7 days of awe. So I thought that was really neat, and I think it you know, there's something to this. So I'm going to keep watching. Recommend that we just keep watching every day, because Jesus could come anytime. You know, I like watching the dates. I know a lot of you like watching the dates. I'm not a date setter. I'm not saying it's going to happen on these dates, but it's certainly fun to watch. But I'm watching all the time, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised if the trumpet sounded in 5 minutes. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm not you know, just dogmatic about a certain date, because I believe that when it happens, it will be the appointed time. But it does make sense that it would be on an appointed time that's already established. That, I mean, you know, so I mean, you could argue both points. Nevertheless, I still agree that every day is a high watch day. And you know, and I don't want to say it's going to happen this day or that day, because really I just don't know. I mean, I would just be guessing, because I'm not even well versed enough in the Bible to put all that stuff together. But I think it's interesting what he's doing. I think it's great. And it sure is exciting, and I enjoyed watching the video this morning. I can't wait for the next one to come out. But I'm not like you know, expecting it any more than I am any time. I mean, honestly, I just believe that it could happen anytime. We're so close, and and I believe when it does, it'll make sense. I mean, maybe it doesn't right now, but I believe when it happens, it'll make sense. Hey, you know, never know. We may all know right before it happens. Anyways, I mean, you know. So there's been a lot of people in the comments mentioned hearing shofars in the last few days. So, and during the time of storm. See, my son, he heard shofar. My oldest son, he was actually in the middle of a rainstorm and thunder when he heard what sounded like a shofar. And then I've heard other people say that they even heard it on that same night, on Thursday night, or Thursday afternoon, sometime Thursday. He was in the daytime when he heard it, but. And also, by the way, the video that I posted yesterday, I accidentally deleted it. My phone was showing 2 instances of the same video uploading, and I thought one was just like a glitch, and it had a different title and everything on it. And so, because I had changed it, I went on the computer and actually, in the studio, I changed the description and all. And I thought there was 2 instances, and I didn't figure that the one would be important, so I deleted it, and I actually deleted it all. It was connected to it somehow. Anyways, I apologize for that. I know a lot of people left comments, and I lost them. There's no way to get them back, and I guess I'm apologizing for that, because you know, there's a lot of good comments and things. But you know, it's back up, and you know, there's a lot of people commented on it again. But guys, just keep watching. We're so close, and I'm going to cut this short, because I'm going to try to upload it from the phone again, and then it takes forever if the video gets too long. So I love you all so much, and if you haven't accepted Jesus, do it. Do it now. Steps in the description. Don't waste any more time. There's never a better time than right now. We're not promised another minute on this earth. And I guess I will see you guys on the next video, or I'll see you in the clouds, whichever comes first. I love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night. Goodbye.